Let's raise the big questions now that stem from Mahua Moitra's possible expulsion. Mahua Moitra, victim or villain? Has the Ethics Committee which recommended her expulsion been fair or completely biased? Why has there been no question of Mr. Hiranandani, the alleged bribe giver? Will Mahua Moitra be sacked from Parliament, or is that an injustice? Has she been denied a fair hearing? And let's take the issue forward then. Joining us now on our face-off, two members of the ethics panel with different views. Aparajita Sarangi, BJP member of parliament at the ethics panel that recommended expulsion of Mahua Moitra, and Giridhari Yadav of the Janata Dal United, its MP. To you, Aparajita Sarangi, I had Mahua Moitra on my show a little while ago, and she said this was a fixed match. Everything was pre-decided, including the report. The members really had no say. It was a hit job by the BJP because she's speaking out on Mr. Modi and Mr. Adani. How do you respond? Was this in any way pre-decided?
You know, it's very unfortunate that Mahua Moitra had to be recommended to be expelled from the Lok Sabha. But it's much more unfortunate when Mahua Moitra and others come forward and defend themselves. See, there are certain kinds of behavior that cannot be defended. She is a parliamentarian. She is a people's representative. She stays in a glass house. I think she must remember all these things. And nobody can absolve her of the responsibility. She has demonstrated unethical conduct by sharing her login credentials with somebody who is not even staying in India, somebody who is staying outside in UAE, in Dubai.
She says he's a businessman with, ma'am, just a minute. Ma'am, she says she says Darshan Hiranandani is still an Indian citizen with huge business interests in India, and she says she only gave the login password. She continued to control the site. The OTP would come on her phone. Therefore, it is wrong to say that national security is involved.
Can you justify this kind of behavior? I mean, she is an educated lady, I have all regards for her, but can you justify this behavior? In fact, you know, you just can't say, thou shalt not kill, thou shalt not steal. You know, these are codes of conduct which even not written we have to follow. So I think by sharing her login credentials with somebody who is outside the country or even within the country, somebody is not related to her office, is nothing short of a crime, if I can use that word. And you know what? The bills, in fact, the report that we have sent, I should not be divulging the details of the report. I'm just mentioning that there are bills which are uploaded on our members portal. Now, these government bills are circulated among all the members to see and, you know, discuss and debate in the parliament, in the Lok Sabha and the Rajya Sabha. And I'm sure in her members portal also, very important bills, sensitive bills, proposing amendments to many of the issues of the government were uploaded. Now, if you are giving access to a particular person who, I will underscore, is not a foreign national, he is an Indian, but he has residency rights in Dubai, one. Number two, he has friends among foreign nationals, very close relatives among foreign nationals. Now, if you give that kind of, you know, if you share your ID, password, etc. with that kind of person, and
no, but what is the with due regard, ma'am, what is the sensitive information? All these bills are in the public domain, ma'am.
I'm coming to it, please.
All these bills are in public domain. What is the sensitive information that someone like Darshan Hiranandani could get through a login password? Please go ahead, ma'am. Please go ahead.
Rajiv ji, just please allow me to speak.
Yes,
I'm just giving you an example of the bills. You know, this is just an instance. There are many things which, you know, if you allow a particular person to enter your system, the entire thing becomes vulnerable for everybody to see. And you know how hacking is being done these days. So anything can happen, and I'm sure these are matters of national security. You cannot open our system. We cannot just open our system. You know, if you go to NIC,
give their login passwords to their office secretaries
of the National Informatics Center.
Do our MPs get outsiders to put in?
Office secretary is different. He or she, that's different. Office secretary is different. There is accountability there. The person is paid by the parliament or the MP. So there is complete hold on the person concerned. I mean, you cannot equate your office secretary with Darshan Hiranandani sitting in Dubai and getting access to the system.
She says she was using his office for secretarial work. She says she was using his office for secretarial work. You don't go by that argument at all.
That is what she has been saying, but that can be misused. That's what I'm saying.
Is that reason enough to expel her? Is that reason enough to expel her? There are questions whether the ethics committee can expel a member. A privileges committee can, an ethics committee can suspend at best.
But
expulsion?
This is a very serious charge. Okay. And this has been proved. In fact, we had requested the Ministry of External Affairs, the Ministry of IT and Ministry of Home Affairs to give their views. And all of them have been saying what we have been saying. They have been repeating what we have said. This is, breach of privilege. This is contempt of house. And this is absolutely unethical conduct and bordering on criminality because, it also leads to issues pertaining to national security.
You mentioned national security, ma'am. Can I just get in Giridhar? Okay, I've heard you, ma'am. I think it's fair to bring in Giridhar Yadav because he gave a very different. आपने dissenting note दिया. यहाँ अपराजिता सारंगी कही है राष्ट्र सुरक्षा का मामला है, नेशनल सिक्योरिटी का. आप किस तरह से देखते हैं? लॉगिन पासवर्ड किसी ऐसे व्यक्ति को जाता है तो दुबई में बेस्ड है. इनका कहना है ये नेशनल सिक्योरिटी का मामला है.
राजीव जी, सबसे पहले तो एनआईसी का कोई नियम नहीं बना हुआ है. दूसरा बात है कि ईमेल, जीमेल और लॉगिंग पासवर्ड ये जितने हम लोग एमपी हैं किसी को पता नहीं रहता, वो सब तो दूसरा लोग करता है. लेकिन ओटीपी मेन है. ओटीपी मेरे फोन पर आता है. यदि इस ओटीपी को हम शेयर करेंगे 5 मिनट 3 मिनट के अंदर, तभी वो मेरा क्वेश्चन लोकसभा में सकता है. कोई नेशनल सिक्योरिटी का बात इसमें नहीं है. और जहां तक ये बात है, कहते हैं कि होम मंत्रालय और विदेश मंत्रालय, तो सारे हमारे सम्माननीय प्रधानमंत्री मोदी जी के कंट्रोल में है. जब सम्माननीय एमपी महुआ मोइत्रा जी ने कहा कि अडानी और मोदी जी में संबंध है, इसको प्रूफ करना चाहिए, तो उसी के लिए सब हो रहा है. क्योंकि अडानी के खिलाफ इस देश में कोई भी आदमी बोलेगा, उस आदमी को की सदस्यता जाएगी ही. उसके लिए वो हमारे सम्माननीय प्रधानमंत्री किसी स्तर तक जा सकते हैं. आप जानते हैं.
पर आप मानते हैं कि ये एरर ऑफ जजमेंट है. पर आप मानते हैं किसी बिजनेसमैन को इस तरह से या उसके ऑफिस को देना ये कहीं ना कहीं एरर ऑफ जजमेंट थी या नहीं?
हम लोग बता रहे. हम लोग तो कितने लोगों को देते हैं कि भाई जरा मेरा टाइप करके भेज दीजिए. मेरा टाइपराइटर वाला आदमी नहीं है और वो भेज देता. लेकिन जो भेजेगा, राजीव जी, जब तक हम ओटीपी नहीं देंगे तब तक वो लोड नहीं. ओटीपी असली चीज है और एनआईसी का कोई ऐसा नियम नहीं बना हुआ आज तक कि हम क्या करें.
नहीं, नियम ना होना एक बात. नहीं, नियम ना होना
सिक्योरिटी का मामला, कोई नेशनल सिक्योरिटी
नहीं, नियम ना होना एक बात है. लेकिन क्या आपको लगता है कि ये करना सही है?
कुछ हम करें. हमारा कोई अमेरिका में हम किसी दिन गए हों अपने बेटे के पास, वहां से हमको कोई करना पड़ेगा तो करना ही पड़ेगा. हमको ऐसा कोई बंधन या तो सरकार को करना चाहिए था कि विदेश से कोई भी मेल ईमेल मेरे लोकसभा पोर्टल पर नहीं आएगा. हम भी तो जाते हैं विदेश में, अपने बेटे के पास जाते हैं, लंदन जाते हैं, अमेरिका जाते हैं और वहां से हम करते हैं प्रश्न.
ओके,
ऐसा तो कुछ है नहीं. ऐसा तो कोई नियम है नहीं.
तो आप कह रहे हैं ये फिक्स, आप भी कह रहे हैं ये फिक्स रिपोर्ट था. अपराजिता सारंगी, लेट मी टर्न टू द सेकंड पॉइंट व्हिच आई फाइंड अ लिटिल स्ट्रेंज. एक मिनट. Aparajita Sarangi is you all saying in this report that Mahua Moitra accepted money, cash and kind, amenities and various other facilities from Shri Darshan Hiranandani. The money trail of such transactions as part of quid pro quo should be investigated by Government of India. Now you did not investigate, you did not call in Mr. Darshan Hiranandani. This is a businessman who on day one said, I have no knowledge of this. 2 days later, drafts a sworn affidavit, suddenly detailing lots of claims, none of which have been verified. Did you all verify the claims of Darshan Hiranandani? Should an ethics panel verify it? Or are you hanging Mahua Moitra and saying that she has got cash without the evidence? The evidence will be later on found by an investigator. Is this the way an investigation should be carried out to result in an expulsion of an MP, ma'am?
Now, let us try to understand the second part, the cash transaction, the gift transaction, whatever it happened. The fact remains that there is an affidavit. On 20th of October, the affidavit was shown by Darshan Hiranandani, and it was shown before the Vice Consul of the Consulate General of Dubai. That means that it is a sworn affidavit.
But 2 days before that, he said he had no knowledge of it.
So when
So tomorrow somebody will put an
When
affidavit
an
against you, ma'am. How will you prove yourself? Should you have the right to cross-examine him?
I try to tell you, please try to listen to me. It's a sworn affidavit, and the affidavit has been signed before the Consul General, a senior Vice Consul of the Consulate General of India in Dubai, and she is a senior Indian Foreign Service officer. Right. And when everything is there in the affidavit, what is the need to kind of, go for interrogation? That is the question. Now, the two complainants were there. We started by talking to the two complainants, Jay Anant Dehadrai and Sri Nishikant Dubeji. We heard them at length. And thereafter, on 2nd November, we sat with Mahua Moitra.
What is Nishikant Dubey's locus, ma'am? Ma'am, with due regard, what is Nishikant Dubey's locus? He's someone who's got an animus against Mahua Moitra. Why did you not cross-examine the main alleged bribe giver? Without cross-examining Darshan Hiranandani, and he has not given any details specifically of any cash, you are expelling a member based on some third party who, I repeat, on day one said, I have no knowledge of any of this. He could have well been put under pressure by the government to indict Mahua Moitra. Tomorrow somebody could do it to you in Odisha.
The affidavit is there. It's a sworn affidavit.
Why not cross-examine him?
Interrogation. This is number one. Number two, the cash, the money trail of the cash transaction will be actually looked into by some investigating agency. If Honorable Speaker so feels, the Government of India.
So why not expel her then? Why not expel her if the investigation finds any proof of culpability? You are recommending expulsion without even the investigation. I mean, this is a kangaroo court.
Do you support the unethical conduct of Mahua Moitra?
I am not supporting. My job is to ask questions. I am asking you a straight question. You are calling for the expulsion of an MP where you do not have prima facie evidence of cash transactions yet. You are going by a sworn affidavit of a third party.
I'm just coming to you. I'm coming to you. Rajiv ji.
Rajiv ji. एक मिनट गिरिधर जी, उनको खत्म करने दीजिए.
हमारा भी सुन लिया जाए.
Now, don't we need to recommend her expulsion? There is breach of privilege, there is contempt of the House. These three are good enough reasons for recommendation of her expulsion.
Okay.
Now, the fourth thing which has cropped up through the affidavit of this gentleman is cash transaction, gift transaction, etc. So that would be looked into by the investigating agency. That's a separate matter altogether. But, her unethical conduct is good enough reason for us to, recommend her expulsion.
Giridhari ji,
so I think
let Giridhari ji wanted to respond to you, ma'am.
Said today, we did today.
Ma'am, Giridhari ji wanted to respond.
राजीव जी, हमारे मीटिंग में चर्चा हुआ था कि हीरानंदानी को यदि इंडियन नेशनल का हीरानंदानी होगा तो मैं बुलाऊंगा सलाह लेके, और यदि एफिडेविट पर ही करना था तो क्या कहते हैं, JN देहदराई को भी नहीं बुलाना चाहिए था, निशिकांत सम्मानीय MP को भी नहीं बुलाना चाहिए, एफिडेविट पर ही कर देना चाहिए था. तो क्या आवश्यकता थी इन लोगों का गवाही लेने का?
आपने डिमांड किया था कि दर्शन हिरानंदानी को बुलाए. सर, आपने डिमांड किया था कि दर्शन
एकदम डिमांड किया था. हमने डिमांड किया था कि हमारे चेयरमैन ने आश्वस्त किया था कि यदि वो इंडियन नेशनल का आदमी होगा तो उसको हम बुलाएंगे, और उसने नहीं बुलाया. हम लोग कहते रह गए कि उसको बुलाना है, बोला बुलाएंगे. और यदि बिना क्रॉस एग्जामिनेशन के, बिना जिसने जो घूस देने का बात कहता है कि हमने, वो कहता भी नहीं है. और गिफ्ट की जहां तक बात है, गिफ्ट तो सारे एमपीओ को मिलता है. अब मेरे घर पर कोई गिफ्ट भिजवा देगा, वो किस चीज का पैकेट में गिफ्ट आता है, मेरा घर का लोग रिसीव करता है कि मैं यहीं बैठा रहता हूं, मैं तो क्षेत्र पर मैं रहता हूं, और कोई यदि उसमें भेज देगा चांदी और सोना, तो मेरा नौकर या मेरा घर का लोग उसको पैक को ले लेगा, कल कहिएगा कि आपके यहाँ सोना चांदी दे दिया. गिफ्ट कोई मुद्दा नहीं है. गिफ्ट तो हर एमपी को मिलता है. जिसके मित्रता जिस लेवल के लोगों से रहती है, गिफ्ट उस प्रकार दिया जाता है. और यहाँ तो व्यक्तिगत स्वतंत्रता का हनन किया गया.
नहीं,
जो उस दिन कमेटी में हम लोगों ने बहिष्कार किया. हमारी बहन अपराजिता जी हैं, हमारे क्षेत्र से हैं, हमारी सम्मानीय बहन है. ये जिन प्रश्नों को हमारे सम्मान्य चेयरपर्सन के द्वारा पूछा गया, व्यक्तिगत स्वतंत्रता का हनन है. आर्टिकल 21 कहता है कि जीवन का अधिकार और व्यक्तिगत स्वतंत्रता का अधिकार का हनन हमारे सम्मानीय चेयरमैन के द्वारा जो किया गया वो एकदम अशोभनीय है। इसको देश के इतिहास में कभी संविधान में माफ नहीं किया जाएगा। ये संविधान को तार तार करने के लगे हुए हैं। और एक भी प्रश्न
एक मिनट
महिला ने, हमारी 3 महिला सदस्य सम्मानीय बैठी हुई थी,
नहीं
किसी ने एक प्रश्न नहीं पूछा। इतना गंदा प्रश्न हमारे स्पीकर ने महिला से सांसद से किया है कि हम कह रहे हैं कि इतना गंदा प्रश्न कोई कर नहीं सकता। हम लोग शर्मिंदगी होके हम लोगों ने हल्ला हंगामा करके, क्योंकि हमारी सारी बहनें बैठी हुई थी, इतना गंदा प्रश्न किया कि हम लोगों ने बहिष्कार किया।
Aparajita Sarangi, the woman card has been is there also, that according to Mahua Moitra, she was asked personal questions about her relationship with Darshan Hiranandani, with Mr. Hiranandani's wife, who she would ring up. Do you believe these are appropriate questions? Does this fall within unethical conduct, or is this a chairperson looking to character assassinate a woman? According to her, this was pure character assassination, and this entire investigation is character assassination because Mahua Moitra raised her voice on the alleged Modi-Adani question.
On 2nd of November, she was given opportunity of being heard, and there were certain questions asked limited to the contents of the affidavit by the chairman of the committee. Now, the chairman was candid enough to say that if she did not want to answer any question, she could say so, or she could seek 24 hours time to respond in writing. But she did not do so. She started shouting. And you know what? She used such unparliamentary words, which I think I had to say in one of the channels, Behuda and Besharam. And can you expect a parliamentarian to use such words against the chairman of a parliamentary standing
committee? Should a chairperson of a parliamentarian know which hotel she stays with whom? Is it the job of a chairperson to ask which hotel an MP is staying with whom? Is it the job of an ethics chairman?
I'm coming to that. See, the point is, I'm reiterating that nothing was asked which was beyond the content of the affidavit. I am a woman, and I am here to uphold the dignity of all women.
Okay.
So I must say with all conviction at my command that the questions were asked within the content of the affidavit. And the chairman had every right to ask any question related to the affidavit.
Can I ask both of you, and I'll start with you, Aparajita ji, again. This entire ethics panel, the vote has been divided on party lines, except Predneet Kaur, who remember was suspended by the Congress some months ago. The NDA MPs have voted one way, non-NDA MPs the other. It almost seems that the ethics panel is split on party lines. This is not, therefore, many will say, this is a partisan inquiry. If I'm with the government, I want Mahua Moitra expelled. If I'm not with the government, I want her to stay on. Why not? Is this the way? And these hearings, therefore, next time should be made public. Let's know. And how do you have a politically divided panel deciding on an expulsion then?
See, sharing of logging credentials with somebody outside the country is unethical. I don't think anyone in this country would support the conduct of Mahua Moitra as a parliamentarian, right? So, as far as Praneet Kaur madam is concerned, in fact, I can only thank her. She has the courage to do what is right, and every right-thinking person would do what she did. So, I don't think there is any politics, there is any political vendetta. Here is a person, here is a parliamentarian who forgot the limits of decency, went beyond that, went beyond Lakshman Rekha, and without knowing the rules of the game, she kind of, played indiscriminately. So I think this is something which had to happen, which whatever happened gives me pain. I'm a woman. It's not that I'm happy. She has left, she is being recommended to be expelled from Lok Sabha. It's very sad for me in particular. But the fact remains that this had to happen because
this is a crime you believe. This is a crime you believe which is worthy of expulsion. This is a crime you believe which is worthy of expulsion. Okay. गिरधर जी, क्या ये पूरा राजनीति से प्रेरित है? आप लोग मोदी जी के खिलाफ हैं, इसलिए आप लोगों ने महुआ मोइत्रा का साथ दिया।
द्रौपदी नहीं, ये द्रौपदी का चीरहरण किया गया। द्रौपदी का जब चीरहरण हुआ था, सारे लोगों ने उस द्रौपदी के चीरहरण को कुछ पूरा महाभारत सबने देखा है। ये द्रौपदी का चीरहरण उस समय हो रहा था। किसी महिला सदस्य ने एक प्रश्न नहीं किया। महुआ मोइत्रा जैसे 3 महिला सदस्य हमारे सम्मान में उपस्थित थी, और जो हमारे चेयरपर्सन है इतना गंदा प्रश्न किया कि मैं आपको ये टीवी पे नहीं बता सकता हूं। और हम लोगों ने कहा कि माननीय चेयरपर्सन सभापति महोदय, आप रिटिन क्वेश्चन उनको दे दीजिए, वो जवाब दे देंगी, लेकिन उसने नहीं माना। वो तो हम आपको कह रहे हैं, जो हमारे चेयरमैन है, हम माननीय सम्मानीय अपनी बहन अपराजिता से कहना चाहता हूं कि उनको जय अनंत देहदराई बोलने नहीं आता था, वो जय अनंत देसाई बोलते थे। जिस चेयरमैन को जय अनंत देहदराई नहीं बोल सकता है, जो जय अनंत देसाई बोलता है, वो पढ़ा हुआ स्क्रिप्ट भी नहीं पढ़ पा रहे थे सुधीर।
No, मैं अपराजिता सारंगी, is it true that only the chairman, according to Mahua Moitra, the chairman was given a list of questions. He had no knowledge of the background of the case. He just asked the questions and wrote, which were written out for him. None of you even cross-questioned her.
उसी को पढ़ रहा था, उसको कुछ जानकारी नहीं है।
Your question, Rajiv ji.
नहीं, अपराजिता जी, in conclusion,
एक लाइन हिंदी उसको तो पता भी नहीं है कि क्या बोला और नहीं बोला दूसरे दिन।
जी, you know, Aparajita, in final question, there's a belief, according to Mahua Moitra, that the entire questionnaire was dictated to by someone outside. The chairman did not even have the knowledge of the facts of the case, and none of you from the government side even questioned Mahua, only the chairman did. And therefore, all of this was pre-decided, and MP was flown down from Madhya Pradesh to be at the ethics panel so that the government would have a majority. This was done because, I repeat, Mahua Moitra got under the skin of this government.
Ethics committee was held, 3 dates were there, and we all sat, and it is expected of all MPs to be there. Now, as far as the MPs of NDA are concerned, in fact, we are very serious about our job. When a job has been given, we must attend the meeting. What's the big deal about it? And the chairman has to start the conversation. The chairman has to start asking the questions. After the chairperson, after the chairman would have spoken, would have asked the questions, he would have asked all the MPs one by one to put forth the questions. And that was the agreement. The chairman mentioned when the entire discussion started that he would be first asking all the questions, and then thereafter he would be asking
Giridhari
everybody
Yadav
to
says
put
it
forth
was
their
Draupadi
questions.
ka
So that was
cheer
the
haran.
understanding.
Giridhari Yadav is saying it was Draupadi ka cheer haran. How do you respond?
I am a woman. I never felt there was any kind of cheer haran. It was absolute inquiry. It was investigation. We were trying to understand what happened. Why did Nishikant Dubey write such a letter?
Because Nishikant, ma'am, 1 minute. Nishikant, what is Nishikant Dubey's locus standi apart from the fact that he and Mahua Moitra have been... Just a minute. What is Nishikant Dubey's locus standi in this entire case, apart from the fact that he has an animus with Mahua Moitra? She and he have been having a long stay. You can call him to your ethics committee, but you cannot call Darshan Hiranandani, the alleged bribe giver. You are a former bureaucrat under Prevention of Corruption Act. If he has given cash or gifts for favor, he should be investigated first. You should be indicting him. He is going to get away with one sworn affidavit.
See, it's up to you as to how you look at it. There is an affidavit which has been shown before an
affidavit that effectively condemns him. He is admitting to giving a bribe.
What more to that? We have seen the affidavit.
And you don't want to question him.
Everything is there in the affidavit.
And you did not think it was prudent to question him.
That is our recommendation.
You did not think it was prudent to question someone who is claiming that an MP has taken cash and gifts for questions. You do not call him. He is an Indian citizen. What stopped you from calling him to Parliament?
Who said the government of India would not do that?
Why didn't the ethics committee do it?
It's just a question of, taking a decision.
Why didn't the ethics?
Later.
You have already taken a decision to expel her.
The recommendation of the committee, I'm sure you are aware of.
Why did you not call him?
The money trail of the cash transaction would be actually looked into by an investigating agency to be decided by the government.
But you've already condemned her before that. By expelling her, you've already condemned her.
I'm sure you have a copy of that.
Ma'am, you've already condemned her, but
that.
you are saying an investigating agency will do it later, but you've already recommended her expulsion. You could not wait. Could you not wait for 2 months? You could have had a time-bound inquiry. It seemed you were in a hurry to expel her.
I am asking Mr. Yadav. I am asking Mr. Yadav, अनैतिक व्यवहार हुआ या नहीं? अगर लॉगिन और पासवर्ड दिया गया तो यह अनैतिक था. अगर आप अपने बेटे के पास 1 दिन या 2 दिन के लिए जाते हैं और एक बार अगर अपलोड किया फॉरेन जगह से, तो कोई बात नहीं है. लेकिन अगर 47 बार उसे अपलोड किया जाता है किसी अन्य व्यक्ति के द्वारा तो बिल्कुल यह अनैतिक है।
गिरधारी जी रिस्पॉन्ड।
दूसरा मैं कह दूं, ब्रीच ऑफ प्रिविलेज था या नहीं,
हम कह रहे कोई अनैतिक नहीं हुआ है।
47 बार नहीं, उनका कहना है, एक मिनट अपराजिता जी, गिरधारी जी 47 बार लॉग इन, 47 बार उनका कहना है, 47 बार ये
हम कह रहे हैं अपराजिता जी, हमारी बहन को हम बताना चाहते हैं कि कोई अनैतिक काम नहीं, ओटीपी मुख्य होता है। ओटीपी महुआ मोइत्रा जी के फोन में आता था, जब ओटीपी वो कंफर्म करती थी तभी क्वेश्चन वो आता था लोकसभा में, इसलिए कोई अनैतिक नहीं है, कहीं से भी कोई टाइप करा सकता है, लेकिन ऐसा कोई अनैतिक नहीं। चूंकि उसने अडानी के खिलाफ प्रश्न पूछा है, नरेंद्र मोदी जी और अडानी जी के रिश्ता को उसने स्थापित कर दिया था, इसीलिए इस देश की जो वर्तमान सरकार है वो महुआ मोइत्रा, क्योंकि इस देश में महुआ मोइत्रा जैसा हिम्मत वाली बहुत कम सांसद है जो अडानी और मोदी जी के खिलाफ बोल सकता, उसने बोला है। इसलिए महुआ मोइत्रा बधाई की पात्र है। सदस्यता रहना और जाना ये सरकार के बस का है, लेकिन आप महुआ मोइत्रा ने देश के संवैधानिक इतिहास में जो काम किया है उसका कोई उदाहरण नहीं है, वो झांसी की रानी हो गई हैं।
चलिए,
चेयरमैन has asked for dissent notes and 5 honorable MPs have given their dissent notes.
Okay.
I think the dissent notes would be attached to the report and sent to Honorable Speaker.
Okay, we'll leave it there. It's going to go to the Speaker's office. Aparajita, Sarangi and Giridhari Yadav, I appreciate both of you senior MPs joining me here on the show tonight. Thank you so much.